Hey everyone, welcome back. I have a new chess scene. So this one is from Attack on Titan. I was watching it, and of course there's a chessboard in the one scene, so I had to freeze it and analyze it, figure out what's going on, see if there's any hidden chess puzzles or anything. And the first thing I noticed when looking at the board is actually that it's set up wrong. Because if you notice the dark squares on the right, uh, the rules of chess, white is always on right. And so you can notice that even though the board's really small, you have to really look closely to see anything that's going on. You can probably tell that in the picture I have. And you can probably look and see that. And the second thing that I noticed is I'm going to guess there was another mistake made with the setup of the board. This one is kind of a guess, and I'm kind of using my intuition on this, but it seems like when these players had set up the board, they probably mixed up the king and the queen because the king does not start on d1. The king starts on e1, and it kind of would have been silly for, you like move up the king and then move over your queen and then move him back down. And something like that could have happened because this is obviously the middle of the game, but that would seem kind of silly to do. Not impossible, but it doesn't seem to make sense for me for that to happen. But it could have. Uh, so it is black to move here because the white pieces have just moved to attack this bishop again. And this bishop is attacked, so probably a move the black pieces would probably be thinking about is, taking right here and, taking with the queen back. And that's probably something that would happen in the game. And, to try to figure out who's winning, what I would do right here and try to figure out what's going on in the game is I would look and I'd say, okay, let's use my canceling method. That's something us chess players do when we're trying to figure out who's ahead on the points. And so what I would do is you just say, okay, both sides have a queen. We don't need to count those. Both sides have a bishop. Both sides have this bishop as well. Both sides have a rook. We don't need to include the kings because both sides always have to have a king. Next thing we do is we say, okay, well, there's one knight that's there's no counterpart for, so we're going to make a note of that. Now let's move on to the pawns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The black pieces have 2 extra pawns. So what we would do is we take the knight, compare it to the 2 pawns. So the knight is worth 3 points. The pawns are worth 1 each, so you take 3, and you subtract the 2, and the white pieces are left with 1 extra point. So you can tell that the white pieces are winning in this position by 1 point. And so that means that Bertolt, hopefully I pronounced his name right, is winning. And that means that Reiner he's losing in this one. Hopefully I pronounced his name correctly as well. Hopefully I'm remembering. It's been a little while since I've watched this. And one person could say that, maybe the black pieces do have control of the center with these pawns, but that is not really enough to be down, 2 pawns for the knight. It's not quite enough. In this case, sometimes if you had a 3rd pawn, that might be enough, but in this case, it's not going to be enough. And maybe they would have, a little bit better control of the center, but, the white pieces definitely have the advantage in this one. Alright, so thanks for watching. If anyone ever has any cool chess scenes that they've found and they, want to suggest I take a look at them, go ahead and put it in the comments. Alright, thanks for watching. See you later.